Hey friends, Tyler James from Comics Tribe right here with you. And I'm jumping on here live to chat with you about our latest launch for our latest book, which is live right now on Kickstarter. The book is called She at the Tower is of All That Is Known. It is by Ryan K. Lindsay and Chris Panda and published by myself and the team at Comics Tribe. And this is a very special launch. And so I just want to hop on live. First of all, give you a little update on where we're at. We launched just a couple of hours ago. We're already at 57% funded, which is absolutely amazing. 111 backers. And this is going to be an abbreviated campaign. We're going to run for 17 days. And we really appreciate all the awesome backers that have jumped out here right on day one to get us off to a great start. And so I want to start by just covering the basics about this. We're going to talk about, what is She all about? Who is this book for? And who's going to love it? We'll talk about what's included in the launch, and I'll highlight some of the cool stuff that we have for you. I'm going to talk about the sensational hardcover, which is the first time that we've ever done something quite like this. And I believe there's probably no other book on your comic shelves that's quite like this one. And so we're really excited about that. I'll talk a little bit about why we decided to launch this. In case you haven't noticed, we are in the midst of a global pandemic. There's been news left and right and center about, in the comic industry. And, yesterday, pretty much Diamond Comics distributors said, hold off on sending them new product, and that, shipments are going to be postponed, delayed, limited for the next coming weeks for who knows how long. So why launch during this global pandemic? We'll talk a little bit about that. And then we'll also share what's available as far as rewards and how you can help if this sounds like your jam. But before we get in this, whether you're watching us live, I see we've got a few people on here live. Also, if you're watching the replay, this counts. I think it's now more than ever, it's important that we just connect and make sure that people know that we're still alive, we're still out there, we're still kicking. And so if you want to jump in the comments wherever you're watching us, we're streaming on a couple of different places. My Facebook page, the Comics Launch page, the Comics Tribe page. We're streaming on YouTube as well. So we're in a bunch of different places. But wherever you're watching this, just leave a comment and let us know, where you're from, how you're handling this whole situation, and if you've been able to make any lemonade so far out of this situation, how you're keeping sane and keeping positive in the midst of sometimes that there really is no playbook for or rulebook for. I would love to hear how you're doing, and just want to know that you're doing okay. And if you're not, let us know that too, so we can, at least send some good vibes your way. But let's dive into this She book. Now that we're here, I wanted to start by saying, well, what's this book all about? And She is it's a sci-fi book. It's action-packed. It's by Ryan K. Lindsay. The sort of high concept log line is that after burying her only daughter, the deadliest bounty hunter in the galaxy discovers that her next job is going to jeopardize the only thing she has left that she values, which is her secrets. And so it's sort of a action-packed book but if you know Ryan K. Lindsay, he loves genre stuff, he loves big visuals, he loves playing with the medium, but there's always going to be an emotional core to everything that he writes about and everything that he does. So in terms of who this is for and who's going to love this book, fans of East of West, Black Science, Saga, they're all going to absolutely love this book. Also, fans and collectors of hardcovers, and not just any hardcovers, but super sexy, glorious hardcovers that, really are going to pop on your shelf. And we'll talk a little bit more about the delicious hardcover that we've cooked up with the help of Sam Amborn over at Print Lore. We'll talk a little bit more about that and how that works. But if you just love beautiful books, this is going to be your book. And then if you're a process junkie, we're going to have a lot of extra bonus material behind the scenes, how the sausage gets made, sort of stuff going on. So if any of that sounds like it's for you, then this is definitely your book. Some of the things that are included in addition to, so we've got a digital version that's going to give you a whole bunch of back matter and everything, but there's also for the collectibles out there, we love making cool collectibles. So there is a She collector's box. We're doing enamel pins. We've got this really cool She custom minifig, which we've been doing on our last couple of campaigns that our fans seem to really dig. There's also opportunities for signed upgrades, and additional cool little prints that are designed by Chris Panda. Lots of really cool stuff. We're also going to be doing, for the traditional comic book fan out there, we're going to be doing a limited edition special, like a floppy version that is going to be, or the single issue version for single issue collectors, but we're going to throw it up a notch. We're going to create an awesome metallic cover that for She, which will be a staple bound version as well. And this will be included in the collector's box. So if you want to grab that, definitely grab that collector's box. And yeah, it's just a really cool book. It is by us here at Comics Tribe, and we're partnering with Ryan K. Lindsay. And, you know, if you've been watching the stuff that we do, or the stuff that Ryan does, you know, you can back with confidence because we have a perfect track record for delivering on Kickstarter. And on our Kickstarter page, which is available at comicstribe.com/she, you can check that out. If somebody could put that in the chat, just the link to that while I'm talking, that would be awesome. But you can get it over at comicstribe.com/she to see what it's all about. We included a lot of examples of happy backers from Ryan's past campaigns. Also included some early buzz from the industry, some people that haven't had a chance to read She. They're really digging it, and also some more details on Ryan, and also Chris Panda, who, you know, Ryan introduced me to Chris and his work, but I'm like an instant fan, and especially, you know, as publisher, I'm always looking, you know, where's the way that I can add value to this project? Where's the way that I can make sure that this thing goes above and beyond what might otherwise be possible? And working with Chris in designing this special hardcover to really just make it something that's unique, that's going to be like a pride of people's comic collection. That's one thing that I was really focused on with this. And so I'm excited to just be working with Chris, be working with Ryan, and making something spectacular happen. And Chris, as far as an artist, just, you know, exceptional skills. And so he's definitely someone that I hope we work with for a long time over at Comics Tribe. And so, you know, the page is loaded with all the information about the book and what about it. But one thing that I did want to call your attention to again is that special hardcover. Now, right before we launched, like last night, Sam Amborn over at Printlaw, Sam is who we're working with on this hardcover, and it was pretty funny. Like a couple of months ago, I said, Sam, I've got this crazy idea for a hardcover. You let me know if this is possible. And Sam is such a gamer that she was willing to figure out how it worked, even though she's never done anything quite like this. But here's how the cover actually works. And like last night, right before we went live, Sam sent me over this awesome video just right before the Kickstarter. It was perfect timing to show how the book actually works. But what we're actually doing is it's a hardcover shell, and then there's a cut. We do a die cut in the center to cut out the mask so that we can create the special space mask skull logo effect that he has here. That's actually a vellum, special vellum paper that's translucent with screen printing white on it. And then it's laid over the first inside page in the book so that you can actually see through it when it comes to. Isn't that cool? Super cool effect. And can't wait to see this thing in person and get my hands on it. So Sam has the only copy. We printed one copy because we really wanted to make sure that we could pull this off for our fans. And the team is just, I sent that over to Chris, and he was just like on cloud nine, seeing how awesome this thing actually came out and is coming together. So we really hope you're excited about getting a book like this. Again, you know, why Kickstarter? It's like and I know a lot of people are like wondering, well, should you be launching? It's a global pandemic. Are you guys really launching during this? And we've had some people say, no, you shouldn't. I even saw Jimmy Palmiotti, who's a creator that's, one of the biggest names on Kickstarter, but he's got a launch coming up, and he was throw out a question on Twitter today, like, should we launch? What do you guys think? I'm not sure. I'm torn, et cetera, pros, cons, et cetera. We decided to launch, and here's why. The team thought long and hard about this, and we decided that the best move would actually be to go forward with this book launch, a book that we've been working on for the better part of over a year. And we've been planning to launch this to you all for the better part of over a year. And we were planning on launching, this month. And we decided that instead of just hitting the pause button, we were going to go forward with our launch for a couple of reasons. First, like, we know that, like, in times like this, we got many people that are stuck at home and just looking for things to think about other than the craziness that's on the news and these press conferences that drive people crazy and just all that stuff. And so one of the keys, I think, to getting through a time like this is going to be turn off the news and find ways to escape, even if it's just for a little bit. And then, as much as possible, return to find some sense of normalcy, right? And so, we also realized that right now, comics industry is going to be hurting, right? There's a lot of areas and aspects of the comics industry that's going to be hurting. Conventions are being canceled left and right, and for who knows how long. Comic shops are closing and being forced to close in some cases, voluntarily closing. But now we just heard that Diamond is going to be reducing what they're able to do because they've had to close a number of their warehouses and limit what they can actually get out to shop. So that whole part of the economy, the conventions economy and the comic shops economy, those things are closing. Kickstarter right now may be the platform, or one of the platforms, besides perhaps online or Comixology. Kickstarter may be one of the platforms, at least for physical comics, that is largely unaffected so far. And in these difficult times, it might be the one most important channel, or one of the most important channels, just to keep that creator economy going, the comics creator economy going. And so we sort of thought about it, well, we certainly could delay the launch, and we'd all be fine. Like, this book is not going to, make or break any of our lives or anything. But we then thought, like, what would happen if everyone canceled their launches? What would happen if every single creator out there stopped the launches? Like, well, what would that mean? Like, that would mean that there would be no new books coming out for a long time. That would mean that it would be ripple through the economy. So, creators that had, gigs or page rates or things that they were expecting would no longer get it. That would mean that printers would be affected. That would mean that, the whole marketing ecosystem of Kickstarter launches would be affected. It would mean Kickstarter itself may have to reduce staff or close down, or not even have people that could work from home keep working. And so that would be, that would be terrible. Artists, writers, publishers, printers, fans all be hurt if everyone shut down. And so to avoid that, we just said, you know what? As best as possible, we're going to be committed to marching forward, go as close to business as usual, and just do our part, our small part in the comic creator economy to keep this thing going, keep things moving, keep the blood pumping, and do this. And, we also know that this is an opportunity, and that people are going to be needing new opportunities to connect. And, my wife just took a walk with my son outside, and it was like this whole town is like a ghost town. She was the only person outside, and for good reason. We've just had a sort of stay at home recommendation order in our state, and like many of you probably have. But as a result, it's just like, it's amazing how quickly it's gone to like feeling different. And so one of the things that over the last decade of publishing that I found is that Kickstarter has been one of the key ways that Comics Tribe has just kept a good connection with our fans. And, one of the things that we asked our fans to do is just let us know, where they're backing from, and how they're, how they're holding up and what they're doing. So and you know what, we want to be able to connect and comment and talk to them and just engage. So James from New York, epicenter here in the U.S. He's talking about how he's holding it down. We have I am Shirticus, great handle, from Ireland. We've got David Blocky from Greenland. We've got James Livingston from Scotland, Will Funderburk from Georgia, and we can. There's always two poles of these things. You can look at this stuff as end of the world, or you can look at this stuff as the world coming together. And here, on Kickstarter, just looking at some of these comments, like creators from or fans and backers from all over the world coming together here. The more connections, more opportunities for connections that we have with each other, I think that's how we end up getting through this thing. So that's why we decided to launch. Obviously, I don't believe that there's a right or wrong answer to whether you decide to launch or not to launch if you've got a project. I think the approach that I always take is you make a decision and then you make that decision the right decision by going for it. And that's the approach that we take. So if you're with us, obviously, we're incredibly thrilled to have your support, have you a part of this, and to get a book like this on your shelves. But we totally also understand if for whatever reason, you used to back, we're going to make sure that we print a few extra books so that people after the fact, after this whole craziness calms down, you'll still have the opportunity to grab it. Okay. So don't worry about that. That's not the pressure. There is no pressure to jump on this. The important thing though, is that we all take care of each other. And the important thing is that we, to the best of our ability, just keep doing whatever we can to move things forward and to stay positive and stay focused on the good that's out there. So in terms of rewards, we've got a nice selection of rewards. We've got a digital deluxe version that's loaded with back matter and a really cool heavy metal anthem that was composed by George O'Connor. Excited for you guys to listen and bang your heads to that. The hardcover starts at $29. Again, this is going to be one of the coolest books that you have on your shelves, hands down, bar none. And Ryan K. Lindsay is in Australia, and we wanted to do something a little bit extra for Australian fans. So we're making shipping available for free in the US and Australia, which is not something that we've done in the past because it really is expensive to ship to Australia, but we've worked out the logistics so that on just about on most pledges, shipping is free, or in a couple of cases, it's reduced for Australians. Higher level pledges, we've got some cool stuff. The $49, you get this cool glow in the dark enamel pin of the She logo, plus some of these really cool prints that were designed by Chris Panda. At the $99 level, you're going to get a signed art print, limited edition, signed, numbered. You'll also get our super cool She minifig and a metallic print, which is really cool as well. Lots of great stuff. We do have a retailer special to get 5 copies of both of the versions of the books at a reduced price. And then our sort of premium tiers start with the She Collector's Box. We've got 75 of these available. They include that limited edition foil, standard size copy of the comic, as well as some really these cool She double-sided challenge coins. So that's going to be really cool. There's some other cool stuff in there as well. We do have a special customized box, which this is cool. Chris Panda will turn you into a really cool intergalactic bounty hunter. And then Ryan K. Lindsay will write an original bounty mission that's customized for you and your unique talents. And that will be included in your one-of-a-kind box. And then we did have one of these high-level bet pledges available, but I think that one has already been snagged up. So yeah, that's we've kept it pretty simple. More details on the page. You can find out all about it over at comicstribe.com/she. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll try to swing back around and answer them. Appreciate the 114 or so people that have jumped in so far to get us where we are right now. We're trying to get, it'd be awesome to get fully funded today. So I appreciate everyone that's jumping in, and whoever that was that just jumped in there, appreciate you as well. But again, take care of yourself during this. Keep focusing on the stuff that you love, and we're all going to get through this crazy time together. Thank you so much for watching and for your support on She.